Hey, I'm Alex, and I'm in the City Science Group. And this is my third year in a row presenting at the Crazy Ideas Pitchfest. Yeah. And this year, Andy asked us to fill in the blank for, wouldn't it be awesome if we, the lab, did Project X? So I'm asking, wouldn't it be awesome if we, the lab, applied our climate sustainability goals and research to the lab itself? And really, this is part 3 in a series of not so crazy ideas presented at the Festival of Learning related to sustainability. But also really, this is a research study debrief. Many of you unknowingly participated in a randomized controlled experiment, and I'm going to tell you more about it in a moment. So at the 2021 Festival of Learning, we talked about how meat has a much more negative impact on the environment and proposed as a climate initiative this crazy idea of limiting Media Lab food expenditures to non-meat items. This was not a proposed ban on meat. Anyone was still invited to bring whatever food they wanted to the lab. This was simply a proposal to limit Media Lab funds towards more sustainable expenditures. And it went over well at the Pitchfest. People thought this was a not so crazy idea that we should make happen. So we talked to administrators about how to make it happen. And it was really clear that this would only work if the community supported it. And so we put out a survey asking the community how they felt about this proposal. And we held a community discussion. And then at the 2022 Festival of Learning, we presented the survey results, and the results were mixed. So we had to ask, was this quote, not so crazy idea too crazy for the Media Lab? And we pivoted. And we held a workshop, and a lot came out of this process, including many observations about language. And we decided to transform this into a research project with the initial question, do vegetarian and vegan labels negatively impact people's likelihood to choose meat-free menu options? And so here's what we did next. We collaborated with people who were organizing events at the Media Lab where there would be food, and we ran experiments through their RSVP forums, where each time we set up forms so that there was an option 1 and a menu option 2 for people to choose between. And each time we set up the forms so that, the option descriptions were pulled from the caterer and included ingredients so that anyone reading them could see if an option had meat or was vegan, etc. And each time we set up actually 2 forms, 2 versions, and the 2 versions were identical, except that one version had a vegan label on option 1. And when people clicked to RSVP, they were randomly redirected to one of these 2 versions. And we ran this through the MAS Research Talk Series in the spring, and then through the Community Lab-wide lunch in July. And each time we found that the label had a negative impact, and it was significant on people's likelihood to choose option 1. We extended this to an online study, and we wrote a research paper. And then in order to make this more interesting to you all, we also made this luncheon experiment. So if you RSVP'd for this lunch, you're asked to choose your preference between these 2 menu options. And a random half of you saw a labeled version with the vegan label on option 1, and a random half of you didn't. And again, the label had a significantly negative impact on people's likelihood to choose option 1. And I'm happy to talk more about results, but I have to get back to this crazy idea. So a goal of this presentation was to open up a larger conversation about the sustainability work that we can do here at the lab. This can involve studying and changing our behaviors, our physical environments, our systems, our processes. We are in a climate crisis, and I know people here care. So also, like, combating the climate crisis is going to involve a cross-disciplinary effort. And as an interdisciplinary organization, we might be well positioned to approach this challenge. So let's do this. Let's collaborate across lab groups on a project to bring the lab's environmental footprint as low as we can experimentally go, where the output could be both academic research as well as a real impact on the lab. So that's the crazy idea. And that was your research study debrief. And thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. And thank you for all the people in the past year or so who have helped out with this project.